There you go, I got my mask on. Welcome everybody. We're in Parliament Square. Oh, sorry, just gonna put my mask on here. I'm here with Christopher, who's right beside me here. Hello. Christopher Ford, who I met 2 days ago, who handed himself in with a disagreement over his bail conditions. He was arrested at a major printing press last week and was granted bail conditions which he wanted to talk to his solicitor about. He was denied access to his solicitor, and he was given bail conditions that he thought he needs to actually take it up with a judge. And in order to do that, he came down to London, breaking his bail conditions, and subsequently got arrested. So I'm just going to have a quick chat with Christopher. Spin around here. So Christopher, first of all, welcome back.
Thanks very much.
Just speak normally.
Yeah.
So you were here 2 days ago?
I was here 2 days ago, openly breaking my bail conditions because I felt that the bail conditions were excessive and were stopping me from peacefully protesting.
Yeah. And so you came down here. You said the bail conditions you were given were not acceptable. So in the first, just to tell the people at home what was the background?
So the background, I was arrested outside the printing press in Hertfordshire for obstruction of the highway, and I was held in a police cell for about 14 hours and denied access to a solicitor. And upon release, I was given bail conditions that were excessive, and normally you're allowed to refuse them and to insist that you go to court to have the court decide the bail conditions. Unfortunately, the police refused me that right. I asked to speak to a solicitor at that point again, and they refused me again. And so the other day I came down here deliberately breaking my bail conditions because I wished to hand in a letter of protest to my MP, Daniel Zeichner, who has refused to make contact with me in any other normal way, such as by email or post.
Okay, and you've got the letter here.
No, I've still got the letter here, the same letter as I had the other day.
Okay, and you want to hand this letter in to Daniel Zeichner?
I do indeed want to hand it into the House of Parliament,
yeah.
So it gets to Daniel Zeichner's office, and so he can understand the emergency that we're in, the crisis that we face, and to take things seriously. Despite having voted to declare a climate emergency last May, he has refused to back the climate and ecological emergency bill so far, and I hope to change his mind about that.
And so you were arrested last week. You were re-arrested 2 days ago for breaking your bail conditions.
That's correct.
And then you went and you saw a judge then?
I went to a magistrate's court, and well, I did it virtually, and the magistrate looked at the law and decided that the bail conditions that were set were too stringent, and reset the bail conditions.
Okay. So you got to speak to the judge, and they lifted. They lifted bail conditions because your bail conditions were you were not allowed inside the M25 and not allowed to associate with any environmental movement, including XOR.
That's correct. They're the two bail conditions that I was contesting. I was given two other bail conditions as well that I did not contest. They were not to enter into Hertfordshire and not to go near any printworks factory. And I can understand those. They were reasonable for the alleged offence. However, not coming within the M25 and not being allowed to protest with XR were deemed to be against my European rights of protest.
Okay, so you haven't been to any more printwork factories?
I haven't.
No. So what you've done is now you're within the M25, and now it looks like I can see some Extinction Rebellion flags behind. So it looks like that you're now also associating again with people from Extinction Rebellion.
That's okay, because that's not part of my bail conditions anymore. So I'm allowed to stand here within the M25, and I'm allowed to be with the Extinction Rebellion.
Okay, and so today then is really highlighting the fact that you're not able to give a letter to your MP.
That's correct. So I've tried emailing my MP Daniel Zeichner on multiple occasions. I've sent letters. I've requested meetings with him. And I did receive one reply off him from my first email, but it was a kind of an off-the-shelf email that paid no attention to the actual content of my inquiry, which was about the climate and ecological emergency bill.
Yeah.
He made no reference to it.
Okay. So the judge then changed the bail conditions. You said that it infringed with your human rights and the European Courts of Rights. I didn't quite understand that.
I believe that's what it was. It was a European right to peaceful protest. I'm afraid I'm not exactly all that much up on the law, so I can't give you a full explanation of it.
But the magistrate or the judge then overthrew the bail conditions.
I can't say she overthrew them. She reset new bail conditions in which were to not enter Hertfordshire, not be near printworks, and made no mention of the ones that I was contesting.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to say before you do your mic check?
Yeah, I'm very nervous.
You're very nervous. There we go. You were very powerful what you did last time.
Thank you.
A lot of people said what you did was very powerful. It touched the nerve with so many different people. Your personal sacrifice and your determination. So
I am determined. Yeah, because my children's future is at stake, and I feel I have no other way to show my voice, to have my voice heard through my MP, my representative in Parliament, and he's refusing to make any contact with me. So
okay,
I'm determined.
So do you want to do the mic check? We'll give you. Sorry.
Just one quick second, Christopher. We've just come to you from XR London. Would you mind just giving us a brief overview for anyone who's tuning on XR UK for the first time in the last 5 minutes or something, exactly what we're doing now, and who you are and what's your background?
Okay, so I'm a father of 2 children, and I'm a nursery school worker. I care passionately about the future for the children, the kind of future that we're going to leave to them. Let's see. I came here 2 days ago in breach of bail conditions that were stopping me from protesting in the rightful place of protest outside the Houses of Parliament. Where was I up to?
You're telling us a bit about what's brought you here today.
So what's brought us here today? So I wanted to come back here today, free from the bail conditions, to let people know that the police bail conditions that they're enforcing upon us can be challenged, and we don't need to be scared of them if we take the power away from the police and give it to the place where it belongs, which is within the courts. The police are there to uphold the law. They're not there to decide on the law. That's the court's job.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And could you just give me a brief overview of why the police felt the need to give you those bail conditions in the first place? What happened?
So I was arrested outside Broxbourne Printworks, which is outside of the M25, and I was arrested for obstruction of the highway.
There's not so much you want to say more than that. I assume it's not amazing action. I think that really touched a lot of people. Can you explain why you ended up in that position today? That day.
On that day. Because I particularly disagree with the right-wing press, particularly Murdoch's murderous media, as I call it. The way the media concentrate on completely the wrong things. They sow division and hatred. They concentrate on calling migrants, they're calling the scum of the earth, basically, don't they? And that really appalls me. And they do not concentrate on the real issues, which is, well, there is only one issue really, and that's the climate and ecological emergency.
Now, you're about to give a speech in a second, which I'm really eager to listen to. Before that happens, if you wouldn't mind just addressing these 2 cameras and just explaining, for anybody who's watching you for the first time and wants to know one thing, you want to tell them one thing, and what would that be about how you're feeling, and what would you want them to know about what you're about to do and about how you feel about everything?
I want to point out that I am taking part in a democratic protest, in a democratic process. Protest is part of democracy, and we can be seen here from the statues we see around us of Mahatma Gandhi and of Nelson Mandela, peaceful protesters who are venerated within the home of our democracy here. So protest is a part of our democracy. It's a vital part of our democracy. And I have here a letter of protest written to my MP, who refuses to listen, and I find no other way to get it in. So I do wish to partake within democracy by protesting, essentially. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for letting us follow your journey right now, and we'll let you get on with your speech, which
right
you're about to do. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you, Christopher.
Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check!
mic check.
I would like
to
make a speech.
Because
I believe
I'm about to get
arrested.
I would like to make the speech
Standing between
the
fathers of peaceful protest, Mahatma Gandhi and Nelson Mandela. If you would like to come and listen, then please come over. Maintaining social distance. Thank you.
So now Christopher is going over to the statues between Gandhi to our right hand side here, who he told me before is one of his
You're not allowing me over the police station.
he's not going to go over the police station.
I will not go over it.
Okay.
Still some more people coming, so
More people coming. Let's pan around. Okay, people are coming over to here. This is going to be speech part 2. Everybody's nicely maintaining social distancing. So we've got some communication going on with the climbers as well.
I'd like to point out that the police have not allowed me to cross over the police line to be anywhere near the statues of Mahatma Gandhi or of Nelson Mandela. So I'm
You're the right side of the police line.
I'm the right side of the police line, and I'm going to stay the right side of the police line when he's finished.
So just in the background, there's people up here who are the HS2 protesters.
It's rather useful he's chosen this time to do it when I've decided to do a speech.
So we've got HS2 protesters who've been up the tree for a very long time.
So we might have to wait.
What's that?
Until he
that's okay.
finishes.
Yeah, so we're just going to wait till the man with the microphone is finished. I can't hear what he's saying. He's talking about something I can't hear. So up there we've got 3 climbers who've been up these through London. Who knows what these trees are called? The London Plain trees?
7 p.m.
Yeah, and they've got. Okay, let's have a walk over. Just gonna have a walk over here so we can hear a little bit closer. So we were about to have a speech, but it's been interrupted by an announcement by this guy with a megaphone, and these guys are filming it to the left-hand side.
Carried out the party organiser. Since you failed to comply with these conditions, you run a risk of being arrested. I repeat, if you fail to comply with the conditions, you run a risk of being arrested or prosecuted.
There you go. So I've got absolutely no idea what he was saying. It's very, very muffled, so quite hard to hear. I think he was saying something to the people in the trees. Okay. So we've got nice peaceful chants happening now. Rise up. The rebels have spoken. The earth was broken. So rise up. So rise up. Ole, 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 mama. Woo! Hey! Woo! What's that? Just give him 2 minutes. 2 minutes, let's go. I know. There you go. Whoa. Hey! So he's redoing it again. Woo! Yeah, there you go. Oh. Thank you! Okay, mic check.
Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check!
I'm about to begin.
Thank these guys up here.
Huh?
Thank these guys.
Oh yeah, and thank you very much for all those up in the trees.
Thank you very much, all those up in the trees. Woo!
My name is Christopher Ford. I'm a father to 2 sons and a nursery school teacher. I fight for the climate justice for the sake of my children's future and for the sake of all children's futures.
Thank you.
2 days ago, I stood here peacefully and openly breaking my bail conditions in order to deliver a letter of protest to my MP. I was arrested while trying to do so. I did this because the police had originally denied me access to the courts, my solicitor and the whole legal process. By openly defying my bail conditions, I forced the decision of my bail conditions into the courts and disempowered the police. The court agreed with me and I am now standing here free from bail conditions preventing me from protesting. If you are in a similar position where the police have set bail conditions that prevent your right to peaceful protest, I urge you, before you take similar action, to check with your solicitor. By taking this non-violent act of civil disobedience, I had wished to take the power away from the police and give it to the courts where it belongs. The Climate and Ecological Bill seeks to do similar, to take some power away from the politicians who have failed us and to give it back to the people where it belongs. Back to the people where it belongs through a citizens' assembly. That is why I came to London this past week, to peacefully protest and petition my MP to enact the legislation that is going through the House of Commons. Am I still an uncooperative crusty for participating in democracy? And protest is a vital part of democracy. It is such an important part of democracy that the police have taken steps to protect the statues of Nelson Mandela and Mahatma Gandhi. They are the fathers of peaceful protest. In a stunning visual display of how the state wishes to separate peaceful protesters from their heroes. My representative to the state is Daniel Zeichner, a Labour MP, the Shadow Minister for the Environment, who voted to declare a climate emergency in May of 2019. He has so far not treated the climate and ecological crises as an emergency. He has not yet backed the bill, and I want to know why.
Yeah.
I have tried contacting him on numerous occasions, by email and by post. I have asked for meetings, and this will be the 5th time I have attempted to hand deliver a simple letter of protest into the arms of our democracy. I have been turned around by police each time that I try to exercise a democratic right. Daniel Zeichner has not given me a meaningful response. which is why I'm left with such a simple method of communication. I need to remind him of the emergency he declared last year. I need to tell him things have got worse, not better, since this time last year, and that we need to and that we need to act now. Woo! Woo! I need to urge my MP, Daniel Zeichner, that the best way for our country to combat the climate and ecological emergency is to back the bill. And so I wish to go now, as a peaceful protester, a free commoner, to deliver to the House of Commons a letter of democratic protest to my MP, who's refused contact. I expect to fail. I expect to get arrested trying, but I have no choice. The planet is dying. My children's future is threatened. This is an emergency, and the politicians need to act now. Woo! Thank you.
Yeah. Do you want to just say there's going to be just 2 people coming over with you?
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Yeah.
As I approach the House of Parliament, I wish to do it alone, so that we do not appear to be a large group going en masse towards them and threatening them. I wish to be one man alone, trying to engage with the democratic process. So, yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So, with 3 people streaming and a legal observer, so 4 people. Okay. Yeah. So in case you're just joining us now, we're following Christopher, who's now going to hand deliver a letter to his, do we go left down here?
Yeah, I'll turn up them.
Yeah. So
I have got a little bit more I'd like to add on, actually.
Yeah. Okay, a little bit more he wants to add on, guys. Yeah.
Right now we are on our way to go and
Can I just add a little bit more on?
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I'd like to say that I am conscious that what I do from a position of privilege. I am, after all, a white British male, aged 40 plus. I know that there are so many minority groups for whom to take such an action would be unsafe because of the institutional racism, misogyny and homophobia that is instilled within our system and society. I find it abhorrent that these groups are not afforded the same privileges, that they cannot feel as safe as I do taking action. But that makes me all the more determined to fight on their behalf. I carry with me the love for all of humanity when I take the actions that I take. Having said that, I do not feel wholly safe. The police have already arbitrarily confiscated my phone, refused me access to solicitors on numerous occasions for long periods, imposed draconian bail conditions, and refused me access to the court's authority, thus taking a power away from the court and abusing their own. There we go. Thank you.
Yeah. Let's wait for the green man. There we go. That was pretty quick. So this is a little bit like deja vu. Yeah, it is a little bit. Got people behind clapping, giving full support. Watch out for side of us. So I think might be down this way. Yeah. So he's walking down towards the gate to the Houses of Parliament. Houses of Parliament where his MP resigns, where Christopher has been trying very unsuccessfully, through every form of sacrifice, to get a letter to his MP. He's tried writing, emailing, phoning, and now he's got a handwritten letter that he wants to hand in to the Houses of Parliament, to his MP. His MP, what's the name of your MP again?
Daniel Zeichner.
Daniel Zeichner. And you've had no response from Daniel?
I have had one response from my first email. That was unsatisfactory, and he ignored my main question about the climate and ecological emergency bill.
Yeah.
I hope this gate's still open. It is.
There you go.
Oh dear. Oh yeah, there's somebody there. Good.
They've got a...
What is the name of your MP again? Would you mind
Daniel Zeichner from Cambridge.
Okay, and how many times have you written to Daniel?
I have emailed him about 7 or 8 times in the last few months, and I've posted 2 letters to him and requested meetings with him.
Which way are you going in?
So I'm going to go through this gate here. And,
okay. Ladies first.
Thank you.
Here we go. Okay.
Excuse me, please, guys. Can I squeeze past you?
Okay.
Thank you very much.
So, but can I ask why we are backing up?
You're not allowed access.
Okay,
So you're all right. You're not.
I have on several occasions attempted to make contact with my representative in Parliament, Daniel Zeichner, but he has not given me a meaningful reply. I cannot let this matter rest since my children's very future is threatened by the climate and ecological crises. And so I have written a letter that I intend to hand deliver into the cradle of democracy, the Houses of Parliament, to protest to my MP, Daniel Zeichner, to demand a meeting to discuss the climate and ecological crises, and to urge him to back the bill. I would like to go forward and deliver this. Would you allow me?
No.
If I try to do so, are you going to end up arresting me?
Yes.
Okay, so, Mr. Zeichner, which one shall I concentrate on? I think I'll go with this one. Mr. Zeichner, I have attempted to contact you on multiple occasions regarding the climate and ecological emergency and your failure to back the bill. However, you have failed to give me a meaningful reply, an off-the-shelf email that did not even mention the climate and ecological emergency bill. And that was over 2 months ago. You have left me little choice other than to come here to the home of the democracy to deliver this letter by hand. However, this police officer tells me that I shall be arrested if I try to pass. But with my son's futures under threat, I have no other option. We need to act now. And so in order to convey my strength of feelings about how much this matters, I am willing to be arrested, just so that I may see you, my representative, so that I may impress upon you the urgency of the crises and urge you to back the climate and ecological emergency bill. And so I will be arrested for breaking the law in a limited and specific way. Sir, I am going to try, and I understand, and I'll do it. When you arrest me, I will not have any kind of resistance whatsoever, and whatever, but I will take it one step at a time.
And right now. Rather say you're under arrest, okay?
May I just request why you are using...
Trying to attend Pond Square.
Okay, yeah,
Entry to a protected site, okay? You don't have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you don't mention something later along for anything you do, so maybe give them evidence.
Okay.
You understand?
I do understand, sir.
The necessity of this arrest is to prevent damage to the property.
Well, there wouldn't be any bad, but anyway.
And obviously to prevent you from entering a protected site, okay?
Okay.
To also carry out a prompt and effective investigation by way of an interview.
Okay.
Okay.
Understood. Would you like us to put face mask on? Are you happy with the current situation?
You know, I do apologise. I should have had my face mask on.
To be fair, we've already put hands on you.
Yes.
And
Have you got any symptoms?
Have you? I don't.
No, I don't.
No,
I don't
we
either.
don't.
So.
We're all good.
Yeah.
So we're all happy with regards to COVID.
Yeah. Okay.
Real. Okay. Ellis, could you back up for us, please?
May I ask you?
That
one's very loose.
It will be
I could actually slip my
more
hand out.
capable of picking this all up.
May I just ask though? Because I understand that you have every right to put cuffs on, but you do have to say the reason why.
The reason why they're on is because you've told me that you're going to try and enter a protected site. Okay?
However, you did see the way I did that in a very peaceful.
Absolutely, but to prevent you from entering, that's why I put the handcuffs on. All right.
All right.
When we get to transport, I'm more than happy to have them removed.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Gotcha.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Well done.
Very pleasant,
So,
hasn't it?
thank you very much, Daniel Zeichner. You may see the handcuffs.
Come on.
I wish to.
So this is all to try and get his letter to his MP.
Right.
So is that his letter's going to stay with him, or?
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay.
To get rid of the book, you might want to read that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, he's brought it.
Let's have a little look, man.
Yeah. J.R. Tolkien.
I'm fine. I'm a little bit nervous doing that, but I'm okay now. Thank you. I like to live myself.
So he was here 2 days ago. Christopher was here 2 days ago, questioning his bail conditions, and he came and he was subsequently arrested about 100 meters just down to the left-hand side. He's come back this time to continue what he's been trying to do, which is to give a letter. Wants to hand deliver a letter to make sure that his MP gets it, that highlighting the ecological and climate emergency. He read it out last time, and he was denied access to be allowed to hand deliver his letter. He's now been arrested, he's now handcuffed, and he's waiting a transporter. So apparently they're saying because he's tried to enter a protected site. So I never knew this was a protected site. It could be, I have no idea. It just seems a little bit bizarre that if you want to contact your MP and you want to hand deliver a letter, that you're not able to hand deliver a letter to your MP. So Christopher has tried everything possible to contact his MP, and he's been left with no choice, as he said very passionately about the ecological and climate emergency, and he has children, that he has a need and a necessity to act, and to act now. And he's gone and yet again ended up now getting arrested. There we go. There we go. You can come a bit closer. There we go. So, Christopher, if you could say anything to your MP right now, what would it be? No, nicely, you know. You're very nice.
Come and speak to me.
Come and speak to you. Yeah.
Come and speak to me. For goodness sakes, come and speak to me about the climate and ecological crisis.
Yeah.
Because that's all I'm trying to do, is to get some sort of communication going with my MP, who's refused to contact me.
Yeah.
Over the most serious of issues that there are at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Just go that way, please. I've got to go in.
Are you going in? He's an MP, isn't he?
So ask him to deliver a letter.
No, that
Yeah. So what we're seeing again, it's this removal of power, you know, from the people, the elected people, to represent you. And when you have an MP to represent you, and you're trying to get in contact with them over a very, very serious matter like the climate crisis, and there's a lot of very serious matters that people are trying to contact their MPs over. And also I think it's highlighted for the fact that this is now, we're into the end of 2 weeks of very peaceful protesting here in Parliament Square to highlight the ecological and climate emergency and the climate emergency bill. That we're having people who are not getting listened to by their MPs. So we have to question how, you know, the democratic process is working. People are elected for a 5-year period, and what we've learned now is we have to rapidly decarbonise the whole economy. We've only got 10 years to do it, and so we're going to have two. Could have two changes of government between now and again, but that just doesn't work with the climate emergency. So this very brave man, for his children and for his children that he teaches, he's doing it for them, and he's really pushing the ball out of the need of necessity, the necessity to actually do this, the necessity to take direct action, to take non-violent direct action, you know. And in this case here, it's to speak with his MP. It's not even to speak with MP, it's to get a hand-delivered letter to his MP to highlight the situation that we're in. He was arrested last week in the printing press, highlighting again the climate emergency. He chose to come to London to question his bail conditions, which he did successfully. It turns out, I'm not legally trained to comment on it, but the fact that not allowed to inside the M25 is one of the bail conditions that was imposed upon him. Yet the crime committed was outside the M25. And so we now have a people's carrier just pan around here. Territorial support group van has just arrived. They're having a conversation. We've got a legal observer just to our right who's noting everything down as it happens. We have Christopher is having it looks like just a friendly chat with his arresting officers. Christopher is very peaceful, very articulate, explaining exactly why he's doing this, explaining exactly what he was going to do before he was doing it. He is now handcuffed, awaiting to be carried away yet again, fighting for what he believes in, and also fighting for his children and the children he teaches, also the children of this country and the rest of the world, and for this building here of the people in power in Westminster, who know exactly why people are protesting about the environment. It's about the lack of action, and we know we all we have to do is listen to the science, and the science is crystal clear. Is the latest information is we could be hitting 1.5 degrees as early as 2025, which is the whole aim of the Paris Accords, which is the United Nations, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, have agreed that we need to keep global warming below 1.5 degrees to stop runaway climate change, which is going to lead to destruction of our biosphere. It's going to destruction of wildlife. It's going to lead to rising sea levels. It's already happening. Stronger storms, and the knock-on effect from we heard from expert doctors is the largest health emergency facing humanity is the climate crisis, and this is why we need to be acting now. And we're seeing here a act of true selfishness of this man. Yeah, no, that's okay. There's no problem. This man taking solo action to challenge the courts of what they're doing, and to bring it to them, to bring it to the judges, and plead with the judges, and also to plead with his MP to take action and to do what's right. So Daniel Zajtek, is that his name? So he's getting questioned at the moment. They're going through a procedure, doing checks. So this time around there's more police. I haven't been able to get as close as before. They told us to stay back. I think it's very important for this to be recorded, to go out, so this can be streamed, so people understand the personal sacrifice that people like Christopher are making to highlight the emergency that we're facing, and also to highlight the hypocrisy of the so-called government that we have in place that should be looking after the interests of its citizens, which is clearly failing, and we know it's failing. It's been proven time and time again. Carbon dioxide emissions, greenhouse gas emissions, they're all measurable. Today we had EXOR scientists all protesting outside New Scotland Yard, because one of them was giving a gagging order for talking the truth. The police arrested the scientist, and today the scientists came back to highlight the fact that, like, the voice of the scientists are now being silenced. We even spoke to Paul, a former police officer, who was highlighting the fact that if he was now an officer, he'd be looking into how people in this building here are conducting themselves, because what is happening is a crime. They know through inaction that there's going to be deaths. There's going to be tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of deaths here and around the world, caused by the ecological crisis, the collapse of the biosphere, rising sea oceans, so many different things. We can even see it like at the moment right now in your televisions. We got California is burning. You go and you speak to people in California, and it's scenes have never been seen before. We have in Colorado the swing of temperature swings from I think it was like 35, 36 degrees to 1 degree in a 24-hour period. So we're witnessing these things happening in our lifetime. They're happening right now. They're happening in the United Kingdom. We've got wheat crop failure happening already with excessive floodings. We had excessive prolonged dry period here. We had a heat wave this summer, 34 degrees, going over several days. Where nighttime temperature not dipping below 21, 22 Celsius. We're seeing these huge anomalies happening and happening more and more and more. We're having stronger, more powerful storms happening, and what we're seeing the government here, who last year declared a climate emergency, and since declaring a climate emergency, the Parliament have failed to actually act. They're failing to act, so they have admitted that there is a climate emergency. So they are agreeing with the scientists. The scientists are very clear about what's happening and what is going to happen. What is going to happen 100% they're certain of is uncertainty, because we've never been in this situation before. And we need a strong government. We need a government that can actually take bold steps to actually act now and put laws in place to deal with it, to put in laws in place to mitigate, work with flood defences, work with strategies around food insecurities. We need to be looking at decarbonisation. We need to be looking at where we're going to be allocating funding. The amount of different things we need to be doing is astronomical. One of the things with the Climate Ecological Emergency Bill that we're presenting is to put a citizens' assembly in place. They're putting a mask onto Christopher now. Just putting everything into his pockets. So we got the police van is just waiting here. We've got one Met Police, and we've also got a territorial support group vehicle that's just waiting behind us. We don't know what police station he's going to, but again, it's a reminder: is what Extinction Rebellion and other environmental groups are doing. It's not for entertainment. It's to highlight to the politicians and to people at home that we are actually facing an existential threat to humanity. Sir David King, the former chief scientific advisor to the UK government, has been warning the government that they need to take action. They need to be taking action now. The former Bank of England governor, Mark Carney, he's been banging the drum that we need to take urgent action now to mitigate the climate emergency. We have the we've got the IPCC. We've got the scientific community. We've got so many different organisations, all pleading with governments to act and to act now, and yet they're failing to actually listen and take any action. The action that they are taking is totally unacceptable. Let's go over this way. Oh, sorry. Okay, so let's go this side. There we go. Oh, it's going in this way. We're just going to just walk up a little bit quicker. And now watch Christopher. It's getting loaded into the back of a Met Police van. There we go. We're gonna hear some people cheering in the background.
Oh yes.
What station is he going to, officer? You don't know? What's that? You're not too sure yet? Okay, we don't know what station he's been taken to. Police van BX19HKN. They're unsure of where he's been taken to. So this is one man taking non-violent direct action, calling out the authorities and the courts for their inactions. Was totally accepted to ready to be arrested, and to be arrested again, and to be arrested again, and to force it through the courts, as he said, for his children and for all the children that he teaches. So they did say they don't know where they're taking him, so they're just sitting in the van at the moment. So yeah, so this is the Houses of Parliament, where we've seen so much history happen. We've some when this building was built, women hadn't got the right to vote. We had slavery. We've had so many injustices that have turned out to be overthrown, and now we look at like who's the wrong on the right side of law, and we look back now and we think, how could have people have actually thought like that? So what's the future generation in 20-30 years time with runaway climate change going to think, knowing what we know now, with all the information we're given and the politicians in this house, of why they didn't act and why they didn't act now? It's just absolutely shameful. And we've got Christopher, who's now tried everything, can't even contact his MP. The only thing left for him to do is to continuously put himself up, forcing himself through the courts to get his voice heard. This is failing democracy. Democracy is supposed to be here to protect the citizens. Knowing what we know, the government is failing us here and around the world. All the G20 countries in the world are failing their CO2 reduction targets as set out by the Paris Accord. It's all measurable, and every year we have international conversations with we had COP20, well, start off with COP1, Confederation of it's moving around here, of parties, which is part of the United Nations delegation dealing with the climate emergency when it was first highlighted. And every year they meet and they discuss and they try and figure out ways of actually saving the planet, and every year they fail. We finally got an agreement in 2015, and since then the governments have not been taking any action. So we wonder how they can take action on the COVID-19 coronavirus emergency. We saw planes grounded, we saw transportation systems halted, we got scares with supermarkets running dry, running out of food, running out of toilet paper, and yet knowing what we know, and with the XR doctors again and scientists saying what's going to happen is going to be a lot worse, and we know it's coming. So if we know it's coming and we know it's going to be a lot worse, you've got to ask yourself, why isn't the government acting? Why aren't most people, citizens of the world, acting? One is through lack of knowledge, denial. So now Christopher's getting driven away. We don't know what police station he's going to, and hopefully he's going to be okay. A very brave man. So we're gonna sign off now. Tomorrow's the last day of the rebellion. 2 weeks. It's been very emotional being on the streets all this time. Got to talk to quite a lot of people, see people taking individual actions. It's funny that only the printing press action got any media coverage because they felt it was a direct threat on free press, which is a load of bullshit. With the crap that they spew out. If it was freedom of press, journalists would be allowed to write what they want to write in terms of scientific information. You know, they wouldn't have gagging orders when it comes to talking about the climate emergency. I've spoken to journalists, and they've actually said the frustration of knowing what they know, that they can't do their job because there's editors they have to get through. The editors kind of stop what they want to write, and then it goes up top. So if you think about it, we've put all this print about talking about the coronavirus, and it's filling our news day in, day out. Yet we spoke to scientists earlier today, and they're highlighting the amount of people that are dying around the world because of emissions from hydrocarbon vehicles, because of air pollution, because of now shortages of water, food, climate events, and these are not getting talked about. So it doesn't fit the narrative. It doesn't fit the narrative. They don't want to talk about something that they feel that they can't control. But realistically, we can control it. We've got plans in place. If we all work together, we can put equivalent to the Marshall Plans in a rebuilding after World War II. We've got the Green New Deal. We've got different versions of it. If we just concentrated purely on the Green New Deal, it would make our society a much more inclusive society. We would tackle so many different issues. We would tackle health. It would be job creation. And also it would be setting a future for our kids and for our future generations. Where we're going now, business as normal, with these guys in here, they're hell-bent on destroying the planet. And that's why people are taking to the streets. You know, they're not crusties. Some people are crusties. You can be whatever you want to be. They're lawyers, doctors, students, parents, children, you know, cross sections of society. We've got people from all different religions, and you think about it, we've got like people from across the globe all joining, and it's because we know the people are not stupid. We're presented with information, we're presented with scientific information, and we know that there is a problem. Just look around: wildfires, California, Siberia, you know, Amazon's burning, Bolivia's burning, wildfires in Colombia. We've even had fires here in the UK. Flooding. We've got all these indicators are all happening, and we've got blinkers on. BBC are not reporting it. You know, people in the right-wing media cannot report about it because they're not allowed to write about it because it's quashed, you know, and ridiculed. You know, so the thing is, it's not going to go away. You know, even if you brand people who take to the streets as organised crime or criminals, you know, it's not going to go away. So, you know, these guys need to wake up. You know, it's been a very, very successful 2 weeks. Membership's increased. More people are, you know, more people are talking about it. You know, so if you're watching this, we ask you to share, but we also ask you to get involved in any way you can. Asking you to back the bill. You can go find your MP, you can write to them, you can get a physically print off a copy, hand deliver to them like we saw Christopher trying to do, nail it onto the door, you know, and just force them to get them to agree with it. So it makes sense, it's not perfect, you know, but this is like, you know, this is part of the process of you know, when a bill before it becomes law, is chopping and changing it. But like, we need to have more buy-in from everybody. So I'm going to sign off. It's been a very, very long day today. Also very emotional. Tomorrow's the last day. Well, it's not the last day. It's just like, I think the last day we're going to be in Parliament Square. Come and join us again. A lot more messages. We're going to have a closing ceremony. Yeah, speak to lots of wonderful people again. So yeah, that's it. I'm going to sign off. So, but yeah, just get involved. That's all I can say. Just get involved. Don't be a bystander. If you're a bystander, you're part of the problem. Thank you.